So now that we have house rules, we can start talking about the second type of consequence. That is called a logical consequence. When we are teaching our kids what we want them to do, we use our house rules. When they break those rules, we use a logical consequence to teach them what we wanted them to do instead. So, if your house rule, I assume, probably includes listening ears, that's the main one, right? Listen to me when I tell you to do something. So, if your child is bouncing the basketball in the house or throwing the book across the room or running back and forth, whatever they're doing, we need to teach them not to do that. We want them to do this instead. So, what is a logical consequence? A logical consequence is using the item or the situation as a teaching tool. It has to logically make sense to us. Children think in black and white. So, if your child is throwing a yellow block across the room, and you say, if you throw that block across the room again, I'm going to take away your iPad for 10 minutes. Now look at this. Yellow block, iPad. Do those even go together? No, they don't. A yellow block has nothing to do with an iPad. Instead, make the consequence something that has to do with the child is actually doing at that moment. So if your child is throwing a yellow block across the room, the yellow block needs to be part of that consequence, not the iPad. Let me give you an example. If your child is throwing the yellow block across the room, you shall walk over and say, please listen to me. We're using our listening ears. Do not throw the yellow block anymore. Instead, they are for building. If you do it again, I'm taking the blocks away. Okay? So the block is the problem. Your child obviously doesn't know how to use the blocks at that moment in time. So we're going to remove the problem. That's the blocks, right? So if you gave your child that direction and then you turn around, you go in the room and they start throwing the blocks again, that's when you start the consequence. You walk back over to them. You're not using your listening ears right now. These blocks are for building. I'm going to take them away and you can try again later. Yep, your kid's probably going to tantrum. That's fine. They're mad. That's fine. Just make sure they're safe. Just make sure that they're not going to hurt themselves. That's the biggie. But let them cry. That's fine. The first few times you do this, you're going to make them mad because you are teaching them that even though they're not listening to you and you're still throwing things, you are actually going to do something about it. So take the blocks. What do you do with the blocks? Well, we have something called a timeout bin. Something like this. This is a timeout bin. I'm going to put it on the refrigerator. I'm going to put whatever, so say there are these blocks. I'm going to put the blocks in my timeout bin and put them on the refrigerator. I'm going to walk over to my timer on the stove, on the phone, on the microwave, whatever, and set it for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, those blocks are in timeout. Okay? Your child does not know how to safely use the blocks. They're not using their listening ears. The blocks are going away for a while. Once that 30 minutes is up, take the blocks back out and walk over to your child. Say, here they are, okay? Charlie, I took these blocks from you because you were throwing them across the room. Blocks are for building. If you would like to use these, I'm going to put them here and you can show me how to build with them. That's it. Walk away. You're giving your child another chance to build with the blocks. If your child throws a block again, if they chuck it across the floor, well, they're not ready yet, are they? No. So, what are you going to do? You guessed right. You're going to be really consistent. Charlie, it looks like you're not ready to build with these blocks yet. They're going back in timeout. This time, we're going to wait till tomorrow to try again. Now the blocks are in timeout overnight. Your kid's not listening. They're being dangerous with the blocks. It's not working. Tomorrow we can try again. Don't set the timer just in the morning. Set them out. Don't remind them. Just put them out. The blocks are back out the next morning when they wake up. Hopefully they will build with them. So, being really, really, really consistent with these logical consequences teaches your child what you want them to do. I want you to build with those blocks. You can use them when you do that. If you can't do that, they're going away. If you use your listening ears, the first time I gave you a warning way back in the day, yesterday when I told you, please build with them, don't throw them. And you build with them, great, you used your listening ears. If your child did that the first time you asked them, make them feel like they just won the Olympic gold medal. They listen to you. Charlie, oh, your listening ears are working today. I'm so happy. Thank you for being safe with the blocks. That makes mommy so, so happy. Okay? So that's what a logical consequence is. And not logical consequence is a block and an iPad. They have nothing to do with each other. Or if you throw or if you dump out the cars again today, you're not going to the park later. They have nothing to do with each other. Don't threaten your kids with taking away an activity they love when the activity that's causing the problem is right in front of them. Okay? That is a logical consequence. These are the rules of our house. When you break them, there's a consequence. The consequence means to teach. I'm teaching you that we use these blocks for building. If you can't do that, you're not ready for them. They're going away. We're going to talk about tantrums and stuff in a little bit, but this specific video was just about consequences. So, get ready. Print out this PDF below. Write down some things that your kids do and create a logical consequence for those. Hop in our Facebook group if you have questions, if you want answers to specific things, and I will help you come up with some logical consequences. See you soon!